One of the sentences that we need to focus on today is that Mary kept everything pondering in her heart. My dear sisters and brothers, I think that's something we all do also. But what happens to us is we are not silent so that we can listen to what God is telling us about those things that we are having questions about. We try to use our own head and we try to find the answers. And the evil one can at times work there, dissuading us from God's will. Sometimes we don't know. And that's the reason why you must be able to surrender all that you have thought of in your mind so that it is with the Lord. And that is how you empty yourself so that you're filled with Him. This is what happened to Mary right from her conception. When she was conceived, we have heard how both her parents were aged when they conceived, Zachariah and Anna. And so it was a miracle. It was not human way, but God's intervention in their life. So God had a purpose, as we have seen the first reading. He is always having His plans, and we need to be open so that His plans can be achieved, and then we need to cooperate. So that is what happened to her. She grew up, and she grew up among holy women in Jerusalem, and we have heard all those stories before. But at this time, let us look at something else. Now, when Mary is betrothed, she again is conceiving from the Holy Spirit. Not just a human intervention, but God's plan. And so she was open to God's will by saying, I'm open, be done to me according to your word. And so this is how she always remained immaculate, holy, for God to work through her. Now look at Jesus in her. If Jesus in her could sanctify John the Baptist in the womb of Elizabeth, then how much more has He not sanctified this immaculate heart of Mary and made it burn with the sacredness of His presence? We are not sacred by ourselves. We are not holy by ourselves. We depend on Him. Therefore, if you keep on doing whatever you're doing, it is not important, because it could be self-oriented and self-centered. But our things should be always in Him, so that He is the center of all that we do, our prayers and our sacrifices and our reaching out to others and our self-emptying, so that He can shine in us. And that's what happened. She began to shine with Jesus in her body, mind, and spirit in her heart. And so we can see how right through all the incidences of her life, she was a contemplative. What is the meaning of to be contemplative? That you use your imagination and that you surrender it to the Lord, so that in the silence, He who is silent also begins to communicate to you and form your thoughts in tune with His thoughts. That is what St. Ignatius experienced, and he has given us a whole methodology of prayer, which is to be a contemplative. And then later on, to be a contemplative even in action. That means you're prayerful, allowing God to work in you while you are working, so that your things are not yours, it is God's work through you. And so we have some idea of what Mary did. What about us? Jesus has given her to be our mother. And who are we? We are all in Jesus. So the more we are emptied of self, the more like her we will be. And she, who had Jesus everywhere she went, we also will do the same and that is how we will be her children. So she anticipates, intercedes for all of us. And so let us today, as we celebrate her Immaculate Conception, also remain internally free of our own thinking, feeling, and being, so that God can internally formulate His plans and His direction and His implementation through us. And we, like her, ever cooperative, pondering them in our heart so that we can become who we should be according to God's plan for us in Jesus. Hold your hands like this for a while. Keep your eyes closed. And as we breathe, He fills us. Without Him, we cannot live. So our spirit is one with His spirit. And therefore, we are not self-centered, but centered on Him. And when we breathe out, we have a chance to let go of all our thoughts, good, bad, ugly, whatever they may be, in Jesus' name. Just keep repeating His name so that all of this internal, whatever is there in us, the good, bad, ugly, is out on Him. And He purifies us and makes us also like our Blessed Mother, immaculate, so that in the next breath, He fills us with His sacredness, His holiness, and makes us truly what we should be in His body.